What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black with your 3 long face skinny body. We are back, still black with some more fire Boruto anime related content. Now before we end the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, and let's get into today's video's discussion. Yes sir, ski.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
How strong does Boruto become by the time skip? Now, it's pretty obvious Boruto is going to be up there in the upper echelons in terms of power influences, right? Whether it be skill, attack potency, speed, or some type of hacks ability, Boruto's name is going to be up in the rafters with the best of the best. All right, now this video is just an estimation of how strong do I think Boruto will become based off of the results that we see him come out of whatever we see the first instance of a time skip Boruto. So however the manga decides to return for 81, starting off the first half of the chapter, which I believe would be ideal in the same current age group that they still are in right now, probably catching us up on what Boruto and Sasuke did immediately after leaving Kawaki's actions, Sarada and Sumere's action, especially within the village, Ada and Damon's progression as well, and then jumping in the later half of chapter 81 into the time skip and seeing how things pick up from there. At the end of the day, somewhere in that time frame, we understand Boruto is going to get stronger, but it's a matter of where we're going to place him. And I believe a lot of people are misunderstanding the idea of why Boruto is even running in the first phase. On top of the fact that, yes, the whole entire village is after him, you switch the positions back to the original scenario. Kawaki was on the verge of doing the same thing. But the difference in both Boruto and Kawaki is the mindset and the reality of the situation. Whereas Kawaki understood he's low on chakra. He can't just keep on spamming Sukuna Hukona, no matter how useful it actually is. And he has to replenish his chakra if he actually wants to do the deed, understanding that that current version of him was definitely going to get folded by the likes of the Hidden Village, especially if you include Sasuke in that mix. Kawaki had no choice but to run. Now, Boruto's case of running is definitely in the same regards. He cannot handle the current situation at this current point in time, meaning dealing with everyone at the same time, especially with the emotional weight that lies in the situation, but also on the fact that Boruto understands, right? If he wants to honestly take Kawaki out and honestly fight Kawaki to the point where he understands he doesn't have to struggle and probably die in vain, or even possibly, whether it be in one case scenario or the other, have Kawaki die in the battle, he needs to be strong enough to understand he can take Kawaki down and handle the situation himself. So Boruto's situation in this running way would be training versus Kawaki, which will be to replenish chakra and regain his strength, right? So Boruto knows he has to get stronger. The way I see it, just looking at things, and I believe a lot of people have left this idea just because of the major debunks in power that both Naruto and Sasuke got, and then after that, immediately understanding that the power scaling, even though it's been a little shaky throughout the entire series, definitely got much worse post Kurama's death and the introduction of Kawaki with his new Karma Seal, right? So in terms of no limit code or a limited code using the full extent of his Karma Seal, right? How strong would that be considered to Prime Naruto and Sasuke? Understanding that code before his limiters got removed, knew that okay, in terms of dealing with a threat like Naruto or Sasuke, him and Boruto would be the best choice in order to attack this situation head on in a more stealthier or a smart manner or a smarter approach, right? Post both of them losing their powers and getting much weaker, Code still made it a point to say he didn't want to fight Naruto and Sasuke at the same time. But fighting them individually, he's actually not sure if he can come out on top, even though the possibility lies there. Having his limiters removed would just make the entire situation much more safe. So now we know that Boruto activating whatever true essence form we've seen him activate versus Code, that was his strongest potential that we've seen Boruto reach, and he actually basically became equals with Code at that point in time prior to Code getting his limiters removed, where we see Kawaki overpowered Code in that form. But Boruto, more so, still equaled Cold's strength. So Boruto similarly kind of touching the power or the, you know what I'm saying, the levels that I guess you can say a Naruto or Sasuke without the Rinnegan and Kurama can possibly reach at, or somewhere in that echelon, regardless of the fact that we see Momoshiki go into Boruto's body, pause, and become much stronger, and also Kawaki activating his horn and be on a much more different level. So me taking that as entering 6 past Sage Mode Naruto and Rinnegan Sasuke levels of strength, or in terms of, we should say, Fuse Momoshiki, that type of level of strength where we see them fighting each other, or maybe I should say the type of level of strength that Naruto and Sasuke showcased versus Jigen when they were fighting each other. The simple, maximum capacity that we've seen them able to output. When it comes to Ishiki, they already understood they were outclassed. So that fight was more so about survival rather than trying to overpower the enemy in regards to Momoshiki or Jigen, where Naruto and Sasuke thought that they can end the fight right then and right there. So what do I see Boruto being at currently? What do we know about Boruto right now? Well, what do we know right now prior to the time skip is that the strongest person in the village is Damon. The second strongest person, and then when I say the village, it's all automatically correlates to the ninja world, right? As of now, right? So the strongest person in verse is Damon, and the second being Cold, which I believe a lot of people, despite the amount of L's he's been taking, which is understandable, seem to forget. Cold is also the second strongest person alive right now. And then number 3, which I believe a lot of people will automatically jump the gun, Kawaki. Kawaki is kind of actually not Kawaki. I would say not as a fanboy, even though it kind of is. I would definitely kind of put Sasuke. Now, if we're talking about simply attack potency and strength wise, you can definitely maybe say Kawaki right now, not even maybe, most likely say Kawaki right now is stronger than Sasuke. But if you put everything together in terms of this is one-on-one battle expectancy, meaning I'm labeling these people in order in terms of who do I see winning in a one-on-one fight. Can Kawaki currently, right now, if he was to fight Sasuke one-on-one, both ready to really box, do you believe that Kawaki is going to kill Sasuke? Mind you, let me tell you that Kawaki fought the same Momoshiki that fought Sasuke, i.e. both were much more tired, Sasuke and Momoshiki, in their fight versus Momoshiki in his fight versus Kawaki. On top of Kawaki being fully bloodlusted and Momoshiki trying to suppress Boruto at the same time, we seen Momoshiki enter into that fight with the utmost confidence, regardless of Kawaki's power up, and Momoshiki enter into that fight with the thought that he's going to handle things here and now. When Momoshiki confronted Sasuke, regardless of Sasuke literally just losing the Rinnegan, he still, mid-fight, runs away from Sasuke, develops a whole new game plan in order to get one up on Sasuke, right? So that same Sasuke was extremely weak, and he just got surfboarded by Ishiki and just lost the eye. Momoshiki saw that Sasuke, boxed with that Sasuke, ran from that Sasuke, waited for that Sasuke to leave his guard down, and then went and got the one up on that Sasuke. Versus the Kawaki did not take no type of roundabout way. He manifested, he looked at Kawaki, he said it's up, and it's stuck, right? So just taking things into those regards, a lot of the technicalities, experiences, how Sasuke will go into a one-on-one battle, I'm definitely going to put Sasuke above Kawaki. But just for the mere fact that I know people might get mad, I wouldn't argue of putting Kawaki and Sasuke in the same tier. Kawaki just above Sasuke, Sasuke just below. It doesn't matter. I got Sasuke 3, Kawaki 4, and then Boruto 5. So now Boruto has a lot to climb in the ladder if he actually wants to get stronger. Now, just based off of where he at right now, I got him as the 5th strongest, with the peak of Boruto being obviously that true essence we've seen him fight against with Cold. You know that Boruto is going to have to learn a lot of things in the time skip. We've seen obviously the 2 major things that are different in his fighting style is the fact that he uses a sword and the fact that he has willingly the ability to activate his Jogan and utilize whatever abilities he's able to utilize. Now, understanding earlier on in the story, Boruto's ceiling is extremely high. Going on after the end of part 1, both anime and manga, we understand that honestly, it's not even just high. He doesn't have a ceiling, if we're going to be honest. Boruto really doesn't have a ceiling. There's limitless ideas to what we can do with this character and how strong this character can actually become. So I feel like the 2 things that Boruto is obviously going to work on and emphasize his training on is going to be chakra control and his kenjutsu skills. A lot of people want to talk about what can Sasuke actually teach Boruto that Momoshiki can't, that he can't learn from the millennial experience from his Karma Seal? Well, I ask you, what millennia experience from the Karma Seal has Boruto, Momoshiki, or Ishiki showed other than simply being stronger than the people that they are facing, right? And then on top of that, you don't think that Boruto can learn Kenjutsu skills from Sasuke, you're bugging. If you don't think that Boruto can learn some type of chakra control trick or chakra control ability to improve his already very impressive chakra control skills, you're bugging. You don't think he can learn that from Sasuke, you're very much bugging. There's a whole lot of things he can learn from Sasuke in terms of not Sasuke having to teach Boruto a jutsu, because Boruto's karma can allow him to understand chakra, right? Understand jutsu and stuff like that. But there's things that Sasuke can teach him in terms of how to utilize what his body actually has access to. Just because you have access to, just because you have something, doesn't mean you have the means or the capabilities or the abilities to use it. Similar to how Amato explained the situation with Kawaki and his karma seal in that type of manner. So there's a whole lot of technicalities that Boruto can learn from Sasuke that ultimately is going to put his power level in a whole nother stratosphere. And I believe there's just those two little basic things that we're going to see in Boruto's arsenal extremely catapult to a much more higher and complicated degree his Kenjutsu skills and his chakra control abilities. It wouldn't be as so like simple like, oh, basic chakra control that Boruto needs to learn. We know Boruto is actually very advanced in that area, but in terms of probably figuring out how to manipulate his chakra flow throughout his body in a way to, you know, trigger his dojutsu, something that we know Sasuke is familiar with, but also manipulate his chakra in his body in a way to kind of permanently suppress Momoshiki. We've seen 16-year-old Boruto. We know the Karma Seal is going to be part of his main things, his main abilities. What is Momoshiki's role in the future of the story? Is it buddy, or is Momoshiki actually suppressed, sealed, and contained by Boruto through some type of trickery or some type of training that he learned from Sasuke, with Sasuke's experience in dealing with curse marks, Orochimaru, and actually mastering chakra control in his own regards as well? So I'm really excited to see how strong Boruto can be on this current list, where I have him at 5. By the time the time skip comes around, if he's not 1, he's going to be at least 2. You feel me? He's going to have to be top 2. I definitely see that. Obviously, we know Kawaki is going to rise in the ranks as well. If you're asking me time skip wise, do I believe Kawaki can still lose to Sasuke? Most likely, Sasuke is going to get put in a body bag by this man Kawaki. But right now, yes, if we take out Damon, if we take out Code, and even taking into consideration everything Shikamaru has said about keeping Kawaki's powers in check within the village, it still adds all into the things of the current scenario, right? Taking everything that Shikamaru said, Kawaki was still faced against all of the shinobi, not even all of, a handful of shinobi within the village, and was forced to run because he understood he couldn't stand up in that situation. So even understanding what Shikamaru says, no one can keep Kawaki's power in check. At that point in time, you had Shikamaru, Konohamaru, you had Mitsuki, and then you had Sasuke, all of whom which are obviously not going all out, all play a role in keeping Kawaki's powers in check in a situation where Kawaki understood he needed to run for his life, right? Because there was no other way that he was going to complete said goal he had in mind at that current point in time. And that was without Naruto, the person who Shikamaru deemed without his true powers, we wouldn't be able to keep Kawaki's power in check, right? So there's a lot of technicalities that can be placed into these type of statements, or just in general into these kind of situations, in terms of how the scenario will actually be carried out versus what somebody will actually think or what somebody will actually believe. So I'm still excited to see Boruto's time skip growth, definitely Kenjutsu skills and chakra control training, ultimately relaying into his Karma Seal and ultimately relaying into his dojutsu's abilities, entering into a whole different dimension of like just being skilled and being powerful. It's your boy Black Child 3. Let me know how y'all feel about time skip Boruto's potential. Holla at your boy, I'ma holla at y'all. Black Child, yes sir, ski.
Can we take a trip to the sky? Show them that our limit's too high.
Cocoa butter hips on the wristlet. She said